I wanted to just ask you, just what are some of the things that you think people should know coming into the sport, because it's a tough sport when you first start. And what do you think the turnover rate is? Because I actually wanted to ask you about that, because I feel like there's so many people that join the white belt class, but I don't feel like they actually continue.
You see what I'm saying about a little higher end program where I could do my guys over 40 could come do a small group. We'll make sure like they get the right experience. It's hard to get the right experience in jiu-jitsu. That's why the turnover rate's so high. It's like, think about the difference between personal training and jiu-jitsu. Like, think you go to workout gyms, right? Mm-hmm. How many people work out, even if it's not the same gym, forever? They do a workout. You might switch gyms, right? But most people, once they train in like fitness, they pretty much train. I mean,
yeah, they stay with it.
Even if they're not at your gym.
Generally.
Let's say they're like, oh, you know what? I was doing CrossFit at the gym, but I didn't really like doing CrossFit at the gym. Now I'm going to just buy the setup and do it at home. Right? That doesn't happen with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grappling yourself.
Even the dummy's stupid. It misses the whole point of the community aspect and all that. So if you think about the fitness model too, there's a personal training model, which is great for beginners. I'd say, like, if you think about it, think about how many personal trainers there are that get, or, you know, clients that maybe would never work out. And I want to, there needs to be a bridge like that for jiu-jitsu. Where's the personal training for jiu-jitsu that's also going to make the instructor a good amount of money? Because just classes can be tough, right? It's harder to manage unless you have that's why everyone loves it when a school first opens. Because it's not busy. The class is small. Oh, I went. It was only me and 3 guys. We got it was great, like a mini private, right?
Yeah.
So I think the perfect amount is like 4 to 8 people. And I would love a higher end place where I could put a bridge there. So guys, I would say don't be afraid to do some privates to start. It's very intimidating at first, especially if you're, I like the over 40 guys. Super intimidating to start. Even if you think, you're not intimidated, you probably are. All those things that you say hold you back from wanting to do it are just you being intimidated. And that's okay. I think it's okay. I think a lot of times we put barriers to what's keeping us from what we want to do and are making that barrier a false barrier. So you're like, I don't want to do this because at night, I play pool. Or I don't want to do this because, I have kids and then, okay, well, what about 6 a.m.? What about a noon play? Right, there's ways around that. They're making a barrier because the truth is I'm scared to do jiu-jitsu. I'm afraid I might get hurt. I don't know if I'll be any good at it. And I'm afraid that the time commitment at my age won't be worth it. This is what they want to tell you. But they can't tell you that because it's very vulnerable to open up and be like, wow, there's all these things stopping me from doing this. Even though it's something I want to do, I'd like to try to fit this in. But I'm so intimidated and so tentative for so many reasons that, I'm not even going to start. And I think that's a disservice. So I'd like to try to make a little bit better bridge. And then when you go into jiu-jitsu school, what if I have to do a class of 20 people the first day? And now I'm trying to do the move. I'm like, coach, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Can you, there's 20 guys. Oh yeah, he helped me once. He showed me the move once. Like
the white belt class the other night was tough. It was
like my Tuesday.
We were doing takedowns and they were like 25, 30
like
people
my
in the
Tuesday
class.
night class is not my ideal. That's what I run because it's the vibe there and it's a cool vibe. But that's not how I would ever introduce someone to jiu-jitsu. Personal. Like I would never... if you weren't already doing jiu-jitsu, I'd be like, let's do a private before or after. And then I wouldn't probably have you roll during the class. Like I would probably be like, just chill. That's not the way I would ever want someone to do their first training experience, which it happens a lot. And I'm like, dude, you want to talk about turnover? Well, if you come to that class, that's the way it's run. It's a 30-person class. I like it. I hype it up. I understand what it's for the young kids that need it. It's very important. I do like doing that. There's a big place for that. But first of all, there's no money in that. And second of all, it really is a disservice to the guy that wants to try to come in. He wants to train the law. And maybe, let's say, $125 an hour private is probably a little out of a guy's price range to do twice a week, right? For most guys, I'm going to say, what is that going to work out? $1,000 a month. Most guys aren't going to put $1,000 a month in their budget. But if I could get 4 guys together at, $35 or $40, well, now I make the same hour or a little bit better even. And now you have a much tighter group. It's a little more like if you think of the average class value at a unlimited jiu-jitsu spot, if it's $225 a month, if you go 10 times a week, that's $22.50 a class. Let's bump that up to like $40 a class, and we'll shrink the, we'll better
We'll shrink we'll shrink the amount of people.
And then really the class could get cheap. If you got a guy who trains 5 days a week, that's 25 sessions, 20 sessions a month. So that's a $12 class.